Does The Rock say he's clean?
He has implied it pretty heavily.
He has had supraphysiological levels of muscle mass, meaning beyond your natural genetic potential. And just to be clear, for anyone who isn't sure whether The Rock is natural or not, he has been taking mountains of roids.
The Rock should come clean right now. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. And it's like, is this pro longevity? Like, of course not.
He's so massive, and he's so different than he was when he was 30.
I mean, look at that change.
This transformation is not what we thought it was. The Rock popped out last week showing a crazy weight loss transformation, going from looking like an actual superhero to almost a real person. And of course it had everybody talking, because for the last 15 years, The Rock, who is now 53 years old, has been a larger than life figure on and off screen. I mean, look at those quads. And I think anyone that knows anything about health knows that building and maintaining that type of physique at 53 years old is impossible without steroids, which The Rock has always refused to admit other than trying or dabbling early in his high school or college football career. But let's be real, The Rock has been getting bigger and bigger, movie after movie, year after year.
The Rock should come clean right now. He should make a video. I need to talk to you. Because The Rock's been lying. When you look at his physique in the early days of the WWE, he didn't look anything like he looks now. The mass and the striations.
And anyone with common sense knows that he's juiced to the gills, which comes with major health risks and complications, as we've seen with some of these massive bodybuilders passing through the years. Meanwhile, The Rock has been walking around over 300 pounds of muscle to play roles in movies and to brag on Instagram about his work ethic. But with this transformation, it actually did seem like he put his pride or ego to the side and decided to really focus on his health and longevity, especially after a few serious health scares, which makes sense because we've already seen this with Batista, who lost a massive amount of weight and muscle to focus on his health in later years as he's 56 years old.
You're looking lean and mean.
I'm getting super trim. This is probably the lightest I've been since I was 19 years old.
What was the biggest you were at like Deacon, Batista, Leviathan? What was the absolute biggest?
The heaviest I've ever been was 370 pounds. When I started Deacon, I was about 325 pounds.
Man.
And throughout most of my wrestling career, I was about 290 pounds.
What are you now?
Now I'm about 240 pounds.
Wow, well done.
And I went just a year and a half ago for Knock at the Cabin. I went up to 315 pounds.
What do you want to get?
And that's when the nightmare started. Like getting that weight off has been a challenge.
Yeah. But you got to eat a lot of fun food, I'm sure.
Yeah. But now I'm really particular about my diet.
Unfortunately, that's just not the case with The Rock, who's bigger than Batista ever was in their wrestling days. But I'm Jew, welcome to the channel. Please like and share the video. Don't forget to sub. Now, let's get into
Once
it.
Hollywood's ultimate muscle icon, raking in billions and hailed as the Natty King, The Rock is now mired in an unprecedented string of scandals. From Joe Rogan publicly exposing his alleged 20-year steroid use to authorities reopening investigations into murky Maui wildfire charity funds, millions of followers have vanished, $100 million deals are crumbling, and social media overflows with criticism and mockery.
The Rock kind of seems like he's in a weird place with his career, where his reputation isn't as stellar as it once was, especially after his failed DC takeover with Black Adam bombing and releasing other duds after that, with a lot of people accusing him of just playing the same role over and over and over. Meanwhile, people have just kind of stopped trusting him or view him as a brand now more than just a person, because it seems like he really doesn't have an opinion of his own. Whatever the general public thinks is what he goes with to not ruffle feathers. He's also done weird things like lied about trying In-N-Out Burger for the first time like 3 different times at this point. And a lot of people just don't see The Rock as a genuine person anymore.
Starting off the day right with my zesty lemon lime Zoa, sip your Zoe.
And while it looked like The Rock did lose some muscle for his new film that just came out, The Smashing Machine, it shocked everybody when he showed up to the premiere of the film down 50 pounds. I mean, you can see how much mass is gone from The Rock, and he doesn't look super cut or super diced anymore. He just looks like a much smaller person, like he lost weight and muscle, which is something that's gonna happen if you suddenly stop using steroids or PEDs. And I mean, The Rock looks good, he looks healthy, because again, humans are not supposed to be be that large, that cut, that muscular. 365 naturally, especially not at much older ages. That's the reason we see a lot of NFL players, especially linemen, cut down weight drastically after they retire from the league. The Rock has already had health scares before, which when you hear about a serious heart scare, it's kind of like a giveaway that is steroid related. The Rock has opened up about several recent personal health challenges, including a debilitating gut issue and a serious heart scare that led to an initial recommendation of lifelong medication, or just getting off the juice, which of course The Rock wouldn't do for either his career, pride, ego, whatever it is. And you can just imagine the strain that The Rock's body would be under maintaining this at 53 years old. And me personally, I think a healthy, smaller Rock is dope. I think it's much better to look like The Rock now, to look how LeBron looks now, a more scaled down, healthy, leaner version than a big, blocky bodybuilder, especially if you're not competing in anything. With as popular as he is and the massive influence he has, maybe to help the younger generation to realize it's better to be healthy, take your time, build muscle, stay athletic, than it is just to hop on juice, risk your health, and build muscle for no reason. I know I've talked about steroids a lot, especially in the Julian and Hussein videos, but there are so many bad side effects that just ruin people's lives, and it's just not worth it for the temporary gain that you get. Reduced sperm count, shrunken testicles, erectile dysfunction, breast development, yeah, the gyno stuff where a lot of guys have to get surgery to remove that type of tissue, hair loss, severe acne. Bruh, it is not worth it. Heart problems, liver damage, kidney damage, high cholesterol, tendon injuries, infections, mood swings, aggression, paranoia and delusion, depression. Not worth it at all. So it would be great if The Rock was just turning over a new leaf, giving up steroids and PEDs to just focus on health and longevity and being here in the long run. But then it came out that The Rock only got down in size for a film role. Dwayne Johnson confirms he dropped weight to star as Chicken Man in an adaptation of Lizard Music. He'll play a 70-year-old man whose best friend is a 70-year-old chicken. So yeah, it wasn't about health at all, longevity, or maybe starting a new path where he's really focused on athleticism and just staying genuinely healthy instead of building and maintaining massive muscle to play movie roles. Which means as soon as this movie is over, The Rock will probably be hopping back on the juice to regain all his muscle and size for the next action film. And I gotta say, that's kind of disappointing. As a Rock fan, he is the sole reason I was able to get in shape in the first place. No joke. When I was struggling in my mid-20s, drinking too much, probably going through depression, honestly, I read an article, I think it was in Men's Health, and it was probably during the time that The Rock was doing Hercules. He talked about his gym routine, diet, waking up at 4 in the morning, all of that stuff. So I took everything The Rock said in that article and I applied it to my life. I stopped drinking, I got in the gym every single day, waking up at 4 in the morning, working out before work, and really changed my life. And I really got in the best shape of my life. And even with me knowing at the time I would never achieve the physique that he did because I was natural, I still got in the best shape of my life just following The Rock's influence. So I will always respect The Rock and be rooting for him, but this weight transformation would have been a great opportunity to really make it about health, especially instead of just heavy weight. When your body is not building as much muscle as it did in your early 20s, or your joints are starting to hurt, or your knees or your back just don't work the same way that they did before. This would have been a great opportunity for The Rock to focus on health and become an influencer for older men that are still trying to stay healthy and really show an example of what that looks like. But nah, that's not the case. The Rock just did it for Chicken Man. But thanks for watching. Y'all let me know what you think about all this in the comments. Also, make sure you check out the next video and don't forget to follow me on Instagram for behind the scenes and life stuff, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.